Morning, my friends. Welcome back to another exciting day in Empires and Puzzles. And with it comes a brand new portal. This time around, they have given us the Astral Portal once more. And we've got an interesting new looking Astral Demon here in the name of Turundh? Turundh? Um, sure. Listen, I'm not fluent in demon, so you'll have to excuse me if I mispronounce that. But that's what we got here. It is going to be a nature demon, obviously, sorcerer class, which is fun. You get that possibility of mana delay whenever they take damage from specials. Reminder of what we got from our family bonus here. We have a bonus for 1 or 2 heroes. The character gains 6% mana when taking special skill damage. This effect can only activate once per turn. And then there's a 60/85% chance to cleanse all status ailments from this character when receiving special skill damage. Okay, so this was changed recently from removing a single status effect from himself to all status effects. I think that was the right move because it doesn't affect the entire party, just himself. So a full cleanse is pretty interesting and a lot more relevant than just removing the latest. All right, now down here in our passive department, we get Hinder Mana. Reduces the mana of reduces the amount of mana increased by special skills, passive skills, family bonuses, and status effects by negative 80%. This effect applies to all enemies in the battle. So this guy's job in his passives department is to reduce mana gain. This could be very helpful for those of us in leagues right now with all these Three Kingdoms and Ludwig nonsense going on. Just remember, all that mana gain can be negated by a character like this, so that's pretty cool. And then you have resist negative mana effects. This character is immune to mana reductions as well as status ailments and negative stacks that affect mana generation. Applies also to effects and status ailments that block or steal mana. Okay, so I think all of this, let's see, this character is immune. There we go. They added and changed this recently too, where it now says this character is immune to mana reductions. That was one thing that didn't exist before, so I think that these guys were vulnerable to direct mana cuts, but they have removed that as well. So, I think that's a great move for these astral demons as well to make them more relevant. You can now just not affect their mana, right? They're immune from anything that affects the mana. This guy also is stopping your opponents from gaining additional mana. He is a great character to add to your team to get rid of some of the mana trickery that goes on in fights. Then you also have perfect accuracy. This character will not miss with their special skills. So pretty cool stuff there. In the Aether department, we do get attack up. This is going to give the hero plus 20% attack for 6 turns. And then down here in the special, operating at fast speed, we get Judgment and Penance. So it's going to be dealing 525% damage to the target. So it's sniper hit. Hey, give me back my picture. Okay. 525 damage to the target. Sniper hit. The target cannot cast any new effects on enemies or allies for 3 turns. Deals 525% damage to a random enemy. So it does do a second hit, which is interesting. The target of the second hit resists healing and receives 300 damage per each resisted healing attempt for 3 turns. The caster gets plus 20% mana if both targets hit the same target, or both hit attacks at the same target. Okay. Oh man. Okay, so a lot to kind of go into here. First of all, he's a fast hitter. I thought he was going to be a single sniper hit, but he is actually doing 2 hits. It's just you can't control where the second hit is going to go. I do like that you can use this guy as a direct counter character in the fact that the target cannot cast any new status effects on enemies or allies for 3 turns. So this does matter in the meta. The fact is you can stop a terrible debuff from going out on yourself. You can stop a terrible buff from going out on your opponents. This guy can be used to derail the systems that other defensive teams use to protect themselves or kill you. So I do think he's going to be a very good counter character. He is going to totally take control of mana situations as well. I mean, honestly, for that purpose alone, I think this guy serves a very good purpose and will be useful for anyone who gets him. The second hit can't be controlled, really, unless there's a single target. So if you're thinking about this guy as like a Titan hitter, you're going to be guaranteed to hit the same target twice. You are going to end up doing a significant amount of damage. That's going to be 2 525% hits to the Titan at fast speed. You're also going to reduce healing, which honestly on Titans is not as meaningful, but you are reducing healing. And you also are getting 20% mana as well. So against Titans, this character is going to turn more into like a very fast hitter as opposed to a fast hitter and doing the double hit, which is going to probably make his Titan damage pretty reasonable. So you might be surprised at what he can do to increase Titan hits. I do think he'll be pretty viable there as well. So what do we say about all this? Like, where do we grade this guy? I mean, he's clearly at least an 8. He is above average. He is doing a lot of things very well. But I think it's fine to leave him at an 8 because I think this guy is more of a counter character, right? Like, I mean, yes, he's good just in general, but I think you definitely use this guy in your roster as a way to derail or stop certain heroes that you go up against, and that limits his effectiveness to be more of a niche type character. So still very good, but I try to reserve 9s and 10s for characters that I think just exist and are great by their own right. Like I said, I think he is pretty good in that extent, but I think it's fine to leave this guy at an 8. If you use him effectively as a counter against an opponent, then that's where his value is going to rise to a 9, right? But you need to make sure that you have a plan for how you activate his ability to shut down effects, or else you're wasting a very strong part of his potential. So again, if you use him wisely, he's going to be like a 9 for you. If you just try to use him like a Swiss Army knife in all situations, his value is probably more around an 8. So that's what I have to say about this character. Grats if you pull him, and yeah. If we'll see you next time. If you like what I do, the little button bottom right, you can click on that. And I do apologize. I'm a little bit tired this morning, so I yawned a couple times. Just bear with me. I always do these things first thing in the morning, and it is Christmas Eve, so I was up late getting things ready for all that. Anyway, you have a wonderful day, and we will see you next time, everyone.